Hey everyone, it's your great and glorious leader, Patrick here of the Brute Squad, joined once again by Keegan and Lopez as well, talking about all things Diamondbacks, all things Brute Squad, and here we are, folks. Season's here. We're at the week of. We've had a interesting spring training that we've been covering and talking about, and I don't know if my confidence levels after all these injuries and some poor pitching performances have my hopes up right now, especially when we happen to have our first series against one of the up-and-coming teams in the West, the Padres, starting on Thursday here. So I want to kind of get your thoughts specifically on that first series. So, Keegan, what comes to mind?
If we could squeak out of there with 2 wins, that would be nice. Just rob them with 2 wins and get the heck out of there quick. I'm not optimistic that that's going to happen. I think it would be a success if we could get 1 win out of that. We'll get to this a little bit later, but the pitching has left a lot to be desired, and San Diego has a very deep lineup. It's hard to find outs in that lineup. We'll just be happy that regular baseball is back, and everything's going to be a positive. Everything will be fine.
Woohoo! Everything's going to be great. Lopez, you got any thoughts on this first series against the Friars?
Yeah, the Dads. It's going to be cool to be playing baseball and seeing. I think it's a 4-game series that we're playing there in San Diego. So,
yep, that's great.
If I had to guess, like Keegan did, I would say we would be lucky to split the series with them. They have pitching that's ranked up there along with the Dodgers starting pitching, and we're going to be facing them for the first 4 guys out of their rotation. So, the offense is really going to have to keep up, especially if our starting pitching, kind of continues down this path that's going on right now where they're just not looking very well.
Yeah, mainly I just want to see Sonic. I'm not expecting us to take the series. I'm not expecting us to split the series. I mainly just want to see what kind of a pulse this team has, especially after, I guess I can kind of say a rough spring training, mainly from the pitching side is where it's been rough. And on that note, that's kind of what I'm worried about with, seeing from this first series. It's like, how good or how bad is, Weaver going to look? How good or how bad is Bumgarner going to look? All these question marks on like what that starting rotations can even look like for a 162 game season. So Keegan, we talked about it a little bit earlier. This starting rotation on paper going into spring training was pretty solid, especially with Zach Gallen. That's not a factor anymore. So what's your take, at least going into game 1 of the season, on our starting pitching?
Well, losing Zach Gallen is a huge blow to that rotation right off the bat. They're really going to be missing his arm. You can't feel confident with Luke Weaver and Caleb Smith in the back with what they're doing. And if you're going to have those 2 guys, going 4 and 5, or technically 3 and 4, because Gallen is out, back to back, if they're performing during the regular season how they have been in spring training, you are going to tax your bullpen quickly, because those guys have not been getting it done. They've been getting hit hard, and you don't have any saving grace in the regular season. You can't roll an inning. You're out there until you get those 3 outs, or your manager comes and yanks you. It's your game. So I think I saw a tweet today where the starting rotation as a whole, with and without Zach Gallen included, the ERA was in the 6. It was in the 6 range, high 6, mid 6, low 6. It was 6. That's not good for a rotation as a whole. It's acceptable if you have one guy at the back end you're like, okay, I just need to throw this guy out there. I need him to eat innings. Give me 6 innings, 7 innings of 5.4 ERA baseball, and we'll figure it out from there. But we're looking, 3 and 4 are going to be really bad. And then the 5th spot is going to be a hodgepodge until Zach Gallen gets back. So it's concerning.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled, as I said earlier. Lopez, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, I don't remember really what the question was, but with Tyler Clippard's down, Zach Gallen's down. I think those are our two pitchers that are down. So all of a sudden, with two pitchers down, the Diamondbacks are showing that they have no depth at the starting position or starting pitcher position or in the bullpen at all. Because who's going down? It's going to be Duplantier and Bukauskas, and we're going to be relying on Widener, Clark, and Young to kind of fill in that role of the fourth or fifth starter. I mean, what happens if Weaver is terrible for his first two or even three starts if his leash is that long, or it could be longer? What happens then? Who is it going to be? Taylor Clark? Is it going to be Young? Will Duplantier be stretched out in that time? Are they going to start experimenting? Do they go out and get a guy? But the starting pitching is a big cause for concern. And the depth that we have kind of lingering in our bullpen and in the minors is a concern as well.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I really, really want to see, how Bumgarner is going to do this year. I think he is going to have a bounce back year. But if he's the only guy in that rotation doing anything, it's not going to matter. And I know all of you were with me with a big sigh of relief that it was just a stress fracture in Gallen's elbow. I was so convinced that he was to be gone for TJ, and then really things are going to look bad. So I can deal with our rotation kind of limping along for the first couple weeks. I know he was put on, actually, Keegan, you can probably answer this. I know he was put on the 60-day Gallen, that is on the 60-day IL list. Do you know if that's retroactive to a couple weeks ago? Do you know?
Was it confirmed that he was put on the 60-day?
I thought it was today.
Okay, maybe it was. I may not have seen it. I was working just like you were, and I was kind of worried about that today. Even if it is retroactive, it would have been retroactive to when we just watched him pitch last at Surprise, which was not long ago. I mean, that was only a week or two ago. So even if it is, that's a lengthy amount of time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because I thought for some reason that they could put that retroactive on there for when he felt the pain or whatever. So either way, he's gonna be gone a minute, but he's not gonna be gone a year, and that's the important kind of silver lining I'm gonna put along there. We'll see what happens. No, we've all established here that our pitching is going to be, who knows. What do you guys think are hitting? And maybe this first series is going to be a tough indicator, but going into like 2 weeks from now, are we going to be happy with our hitting, or are we going to be meh with our hitting? Lopez, I'll start with you.
The first series, are we going to be happy with our hitting or meh for our hitting? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, like we're like, are we frowny face or smiley face for our hitting?
I think we're going to be kind of in the middle, that little wiggly smiley thing that's kind of both up and down. I think the Padres, we're going to be in San Diego. They're going to be wanting to show their fans there how hot they are, and that they want to come out of the gate blazing and running over the Diamondbacks in a 4-game series. So I think it's going to be a challenging series for the offense, but if they can do what they can do, maybe scratch together some runs, or just let Castro get hit by a pitch all the time and steal second and third, then home, they'll get some runs on the board. But again, to go back to the Padre pitching, with how good it is, Diamondbacks are going to have to constantly score runs. Yeah,
I agree. It's they need to make that a priority, and I imagine that Hazen and Torrey are very aware of that. I just hope they make good choices in that, and get those bats to be aggressive early and often. Keegan, what's your take on that?
See, I'm much more bullish on the offense than I am the rest of the team, and a lot of it stems from that recap that I just did last Wednesday against the Indians. And it was like the top of the lineup would roll over, Ketel Marte leading off. And it was problematic for the Indians. And I was looking forward to seeing more of that. No matter how, Torey Lovullo has a lot of options with how he can construct the lineup, okay? And I loved seeing Ketel Marte lead it off because He had the leadoff home run in that game, and then the next scoring barrage, he walked and was driven in. And they did what Torey Lovello talks about all the time, where they string together those consecutive at-bats. So it was Marte, followed by Peralta, followed by Josh Rojas, and Asdrubal Cabrera. And we don't need to have 6 guys hot at one time. It'll work if you have 2 or 3 guys hot at one time and then an occasional pop from someone else. But what they need to try to do is avoid being really streaky, right? Where everyone's hot all at once and then everybody goes cold all at once. Let's just kind of mix and match that. I think there's enough talent in that lineup where they can get it done enough times a night. It's just going to depend on, can the pitching staff hold off the opposing offense enough to give the offense a chance. So on that note, real quick, Cole Calhoun is looking like he's going to be back soon, and that's going to be a huge addition getting him back.
They were saying that he could be back by opening day, right?
Yeah,
that's what I saw.
Yeah.
That's the most metal thing I've heard all day. That makes me so much happier. I'm like you said, Keegan, I don't want them to be streaky. And someone can correct me here, either in the comments or right now. But if I remember correctly, in 2019, I think we led the league in runs scored in the first and second inning, but we were at the bottom for every inning after that. And I really want to see this team be consistent, inning in, inning out. I don't expect to run every inning. But that's what I don't want to see again is okay, we're going to score 5 runs in the first, and then our pitching is going to give up 7 runs, and that's it. I don't want that. And I really do think, though, just like you said, Keegan, that we're going to have a very consistent offense, and we're going to get some good contributors out of there. What I'm really curious to see is, who's going to be that bat that we weren't expecting. Is Rojas going to continue on his ascendancy into relevancy, or is it going to be someone else on the team? So actually so here's a question. Of the offensive position players, who do you think, with their bat is going to make the most noise? Lopez, you.
Wow. So the offensive player of the year for the Diamondbacks, basically?
Yeah, exactly. Either with home runs, stolen bases, triples, basically an offensive producer. Who's going to be that guy?
I think Ketel Marte is going to come back and have a great year. I think it would be him, switch hitting from both sides of the plate. And I think he's going to get hot and he's going to stay hot, and hopefully the team can follow right behind him. But he's going to be the big bat in the lineup.
Okay. Keegan, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, selfishly, you want it to be Ketel Marte, 2019 form Ketel Marte, because that was a hell of a lot of fun to watch what he did that year. I think he'll be all right. I mean, David Peralta, again, solid year in, year out when he's healthy. So those would be my top 2 picks right there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Peralta has a big bounce back year. I know injuries kind of been nagging at him. I would love to see him be that guy. I'm really hoping that Rojas actually surprises all of us and not just what he's done in spring training. So I'm going to keep a really close eye on him. Regrettably, or maybe not regrettably, I won't be able to watch any of the games this weekend because it's going to be my wife and I's first year anniversary. So I will trust you guys to watch it for me to give me some informed opinions on what I was missing.
Well, where are you guys going to go? You going to go somewhere?
We're going to go up to the Red Rocks in Sedona and hang out, do some hiking, go to a fancy restaurant for one night. It'll be very romantic and lovely.
Nice.
And Keegan here is getting Keegan here on the broadcast. He's getting married in the near future as well.
September, it's coming up real fast.
Yeah. How you feeling? Feeling like a bachelor right now, but it's closing in on you?
Nervous. I want to get it over it. Broke. Very broke.
To all of our viewers out there, I promise we're going to do a bachelor special at some point closer to the wedding. So stay tuned. Well, anyhow, I think we're all kind of eagerly anticipating, what this season's going to look like. Are we going to have hope? Are we not going to have hope? So I know this is going to be one of our kind of perhaps maybe even shorter episodes than what we would like to do, but we're going to have a lot of content to talk about next week. Once we have real baseball under our belt, we'll have, what do you guys think? At least maybe 2 starts from Bumgarner, depending on when we schedule it.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So let's pray for that, because that's going to be a big topic. I think, our listeners and our readers are going to want to touch base on, along with, of course, everyone's going to be eagerly anticipating my first beer cap of the year, which will also be coming up soon.
And Meme Monday will actually be posted on Wednesday this week.
That's a Coors Banquet cap, right, Patrick?
No, I have standards, but thank you. So to all of our readers and listeners, just want to say thank you for tuning in again. We have a lot of fresh content coming up, both on AZ Snakebit and azbrutesquad.com. So check us out there. Definitely check out Mean Meme Mondays. Check out the Bruteside chats, of course. And I will periodically be doing my weekend beer caps in some form of non-sobriety. So have fun, stay strong, stay cool, stay awesome, and go D-back.